I came across a word yesterday. I was moving furniture by myself, okay? And I was carrying my kid's bunk bed out and dresser out. Took all the clothes out of the drawers. And I'm dragging this out. And I'm realizing when I moved the stuff in, I'm like, this was so much easier. It's not really heavy. It's just really like big and cumbersome. And it's awkward and hard to carry alone. And there was a word in that situation. Some of the things in our life feel heavier than they really are because they are not necessarily designed to be carried by one person. Take, for instance, parenthood, okay? It is very difficult raising children, doing homework and the like, but it is especially difficult if you are a single parent. Why? Is raising children hard? Yes, but it is something that is not designed to be done alone. So when you are doing it alone, it is going to feel heavier than it does for someone else who has a partner. Now, watch this, listen, watch this. Marriage designed to be done with a partner. Some of us are in relationships and we are carrying the entire burden of the relationship by ourselves, alone. You're the only one praying, you're the only one believing, you're the only one working on that relationship. The other person, your partner, is not as heavily invested in the success of this relationship. So it feels very difficult, very hard, very cumbersome because you are not designed to be in this relationship alone. You are carrying the entire burden of the relationship. Therefore, it feels heavier than it should feel for you because you are not designed to carry it all by yourself. Now listen to this. My young son, 8-year-old Josiah, says, "Daddy, do you need some help? Come on in here." And I said, "No, I got it." So I proceed to drag this thing by myself. And you know, he was asking for help. Now, here's why I didn't want his help. I said, you know what? You're just 8 years old. There's not much you can do to help me. You're young. You're not as strong as I am. I appreciate the gesture, but you are not going to be of enough help because you're not as strong as I am. My pride got in the way. But as I carried piece after piece down by myself, when I got to the last piece, he came again and said, "Daddy, would you like some help?" And I said, "You know what, son? Yes, I will." And guess what? Although he's not as strong as I, the little help that he offered made the burden lighter for me to carry. Somebody touch your neighbor and say, a little help. Could he carry the entire burden that I could carry alone? No, he could not. But that little that little extra that he took off of me made me feel stronger than I felt right then. Just like I've been in the gym with Ike Williams, who's my trainer, who's also a Crip, and it's okay. When I'm lifting weights, by myself, there's only so high and so hard I can go, But sometimes he spots me. Now, when you have a spotter, you can push something else that you normally would not attempt by yourself because you know that there's someone behind you there to grab that heavy burden and help you. You're able to push past your usual weight, something that you would never attempt on your own. Why? Because you know that if you can't get it there, you've got a spotter to help guide you up. That's when you're hitting your personal records, you're pushing your bench. Now, if you're there by yourself, you would never attempt a weight that you know you can't control, and therefore there's only so strong you can become, because if you're not pushing your muscles past what they are comfortable with, they're not gonna break, tear, and rebuild stronger. But you got to trust your spotter. See, if you don't trust your spotter, then you're not going to be able to push. Now, JoJo was a spotter for me. He was helping me. Ike is another spotter for me, helping me. But how many of you know that we've got a spiritual spotter in heaven that is able to not only take a little piece of the burden away like JoJo, or help with the bigger piece of the burden like my spotter Ike, but God can take the entire burden with his bare hands, just a little pinky of your life. So you want to push up 400 pounds. You know, Ike, as strong as he is, he can't spot me that much. Why? Because he is unable to pick up that much weight by himself. Okay, now your spotter can only help you with the amount of weight that they can also control. Now, if you can't control it and they can't control it, then the weight is too heavy to carry. But does the Bible say, or does the Bible not say, cast all your cares upon him, for he cares for you? Lay aside every weight and every burden. You see, because God, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, is strong enough to carry any burden, any weight. He's strong enough to pick it up and therefore push you outside of your comfort zone into your next level of life. But watch this, listen, watch this. Put your glasses on, watch this and listen. It only works if you trust your spotter. I don't got no help in Zion. It only works if you're trusting in your spotter. Because if you don't trust your spotter when they say, I got you, then you're really not going to push yourself beyond the brink. I can't hear nobody. If you don't trust in your spotter, then you can't be pushed beyond the brink. Now, some of y'all ain't trusting your spotter because you've been hurt in church. Oh, all church people are alike. They all want to do this and that. Some of you ain't trusting your spotter because a pastor said something to you. First lady, deacon, an usher gave you a crazy look. So now you're not trusting any spotter. See, you sit in these churches and it becomes all too familiar for you. Oh, this is all negative. I remember when this person hurt me. I remember when my mom, who I thought was saved, did something that saved people shouldn't do. And now I don't trust any spotters. I remember when my dad, who was supposed to be saved, did something that saved people aren't supposed to do. Now anybody who's in this religion, I don't trust none of y'all. Because why? We don't want to get hurt again. Somebody hurt you in 1999 and you are still feeling the effects in 2017. You are still trying to protect yourself from a hurt that's 18, 20 years ago. That pastor in Tupelo, Mississippi that said you wasn't going to be nothing is still affecting your salvation and the call on your life in 2017 because we don't want to be hurt no more. Huh? Y'all not hearing me today. And guess what? We are becoming spiritually weak because since we don't trust a spotter, we ain't lifting weights beyond our control. We ain't even lifting weights we can control. Some of us ain't lifting at all no more. Some of us just gave up on the whole thing. But I'm here to tell you, that pastor, that first lady, that deacon, your mom, your dad, that boyfriend, that girlfriend, that husband, that wife, they were never your spotter to begin with. Your faith in Christianity should not begin and end with a member of the church, a member of your family. They should introduce you into not only the spotter, the owner of the gym, the owner of the world. Now, when God got you, it don't matter what's going on. There's no weight that he can't pick up. Therefore, nothing he can't carry. Some of us have got to get back in that gym, because the race is not given to the swift, nor to the strong, but he that endureth. I'm paraphrasing because I don't know where that is in the Bible, but I know it's in there. Get back in that gym with the spotter that created the world, with the spotter who gave us a son, who died on the cross for our sins, who stood in our place, interceded on our behalf. Get back in that gym and let that hurt go.